anything that makes a sound is a viable sound source. So I've got a ton of instruments around me that, you know, I can record them as they're intended to be recorded, like a guitar being played like a guitar, or you can make a sound with a guitar and time stretch it so you get this really crazy ambience that you hear it and it's not immediately apparent where it came from. Hey, how's it going, guys? Sean Chasen here. I'm a composer for film, TV, video games. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and now I live in Los Angeles with my cat Bogey. He's right over there being nice and great. I studied at Berklee College of Music and then went to the USC film scoring program after that. Yeah, so I've been using Soundiron products for a long time. Spencer Nunemaker was a friend of mine at Berklee, and he ended up working with the Soundiron guys, and he got me involved doing some of their demos and doing some of their walkthrough videos, the emo piano walkthrough video and the harps and stuff like that. And just, I've been using Soundiron products since, and they've just become such an integral part of my sample template and my workflow. And so yeah, the Soundiron guys decided to come over and see my studio and see my process and my workflow. Yeah, so I have a session here loaded up with just a ton of different Soundiron stuff. There's actually nothing here that's not Soundiron. So some really great starting point instruments. I love the Elysium harp with the harp harmonics and the special articulations. Can just go a really long way, especially if you put a delay on it like I have, where you can almost carry a scene. Right? And so let's just lay something down. Right, it's just a little ditty. And because we're working with delay, it's always best to hard quantize so everything is snapped in as tightly as can be, so your delay doesn't introduce more rhythmic problems. The Hyperion Strings has wonderful short notes. And then again, you know, with the delay, so the first time I heard this kind of thing was Jared Goldsmith scoring Alien, and he's got those flute delays, and you're like, oh cool, orchestral instruments with, you know, delays. It sounds like really, really cool, really interesting. Just a similar complementary pattern, again hard quantize. My tracks are not colored because I'm a barbarian, but strings always have to be yellow or else they don't sound as good. Yeah, and then let's bring us something to start this off. I really like kind of big, massive, contrasty sounds. This is a sound that Spencer made, Juno VHS. Who designed all the sounds for Crystal and Drip and all that. He made this sound out of stuff from Crystal, which I just love and I use kind of everywhere. So isolated. This massive thing. So we have that entering in. Let's make that a tiny bit less extreme. These are all these affected kicks, kick affected from Crystal, which are just wonderful. You don't want to, I never use them as my main bread and butter kicks. There I'd go for more simple sound kicks. Simple, I have it labeled. That are great for accents, because they're such unusual sounds. From Crystal as well. Just really interesting sounds. And then here, I would like actually way more reverb. And then we can accentuate where the snare wants to be. So we get way more of a in-your-face sound. I like that. Something like that. What's really great about sounds like from Crystal is you can do these little stutters, which are a ton of fun. That hit also needs something more. And so we have so many toys to play with. We have APE Micro. Let's bring you up. APE Micro, it's this wonderful thing. It's a micro library, so it's a way smaller version of the full version, but it sounds awesome. It's got these big boomy sounds. So that's how these come in around here on that slide. Yeah. So speaking of tones you never expect to get from Crystal, this is Crystal Ambience 1 that I just had into contact, laid across the thing, laid across the keyboard. It's a crazy sound. Just a really interesting sound, really aggressive. Swells and effects from Crystal. So let's audition this guy. That's awesome. Cool. We'll have you. I like working with these better as audio because you can actually place them and see, you know, like I don't even want it to end, I want it to come here, and then I'll chop the end off myself. So right now on this piano I have a velocity compressor so that I can't have any of the harsher velocities. And as well I have an audio compressor. So the ratio, not significant enough to do anything. All right, yeah. And then makeup gain to bring us back to our healthy volume. But this, with this compressor, we're just getting a super even tone. It's extremely compressed, more than you'd think you'd want a piano compressed. But this is not, you know, a mixing choice. This is a sonic choice, right? Right, cool. So let's get some piano up in here. Cool. And then let's get some air in here. So this is the S piano from Sonesphere, which is a fantastic instrument filled with the most magical things. Sound Iron did a great job with this because this is one of my favorite, you know, just very emotional sounding pads. Right? And so just subtle, low volume, high reverb. And you'll see in the EQ, I have all the low end chopped off, and I've got these two resonances chopped off. But certain things you want to make sure that they're actually happening when you want them to happen. So I'll have you come in when the bass comes in.
This is Mr. Bogey. He's nice and fluffy and cuddly and soft, and he has white paws. Okay.
Okay, let's go back a little bit. Something like that, but it's fine, we'll figure it out. All right. Now we need pretty things. Cool. All right. Getting way more reverb. And again, like before, we can cut off some high to push them back. And then again, we have this little thing where and then let's accent those last two things. With, wow.